guys, welcome to Jason's Trucking Info. And in today's video I'm going to tell you guys why I think all truck drivers need to have one of these Road Pro to go. Sometimes they're Burton stoves to go. There's different brands, but the top two you'll find in the truck stops is Road Pro or Burton, and looks just like a little lunchbox, and you open it up. And mine's a little grody dirty. I get a lot of use out of this. What I do is I go to Walmart and I buy these loaf pans. They come in 3 packs and they're about a little under $2 a piece. If you buy them at the truck stop, you're gonna pay more. Or you can buy these little things in 5 packs. You can use tins like this from Walmart. You might be able to find them at other stores as well, but I typically go to Walmart because that's just what's easier for me usually. Or you can use aluminum foil. You can cook just about anything in this thing. Mine is kind of dirty, especially on the bottom. If you see that, this is the bottom part. And what this does is you plug, this has a pretty long cord, and it is designed to stuff down in the inside of this. And there's a fuse in here that if you overload it somehow, which has like never happened in all the time I've ever had one of these. This is like my second one I've ever owned. They're about $25-30 in the truck stop. And so this should be on every driver's truck as a backup method of being able to cook something. These things are awesome as a backup. This is like almost should be like part of your emergency kit or something. But at the other end of the cord, it's just a DC plug. Goes right into your cigarette lighter plug. You know what I'm talking about. And today, this is a pretty straightforward video. This is more about this than it is what I'm cooking. I do need to clean this, but I don't have time for that because I gotta go pick up a load in a little bit. But it's pretty easy to clean. You just throw a little water in there while it's on, so it heats up. That'll help things come off. But make sure you use water and paper towels and water and possibly a little bit of soap. And never cook food directly in this. Always cook it in aluminum foil or in these tins or something. And you're only limited to whatever you can think of that will fit inside the area of this thing. So I'm gonna plug this bad boy in, and it doesn't take long to cook in this either. I mean, a lot of things will cook rather quickly. I'm using the both DC plugs back here for other things. So I got to plug this up front. So I'm gonna plug it up in the dash up front. So I'm just cooking ravioli today. No big deal. I mean, I'm kind of in a hurry. I want to go over and pick up my load, and then you can plug this in and have it cooking while you drive a short distance. And then if you know you're gonna have to go pick up a load where you're gonna have to be waiting, you'll have time to eat this and then just throw the thing away. It will get dirty over time, but if you're really careful, it won't get dirty as much, especially if you make it a point to clean and wipe it up as you go. But yeah, just gonna throw some ravioli in here, and that's pretty much it. I mean, these things are awesome. And when it comes to the things that you can buy in the truck stops for in your truck, it's kind of hit and miss. This is one of the items that is a definite hit. It is definitely get it type of thing. All truck drivers should have one of these in their truck. All driver trainers should be, if any items to get on the truck, this is one of those that you should be on the top of your list. That if you're one of those that likes to buy an item when your students graduate off your truck, this is one of those items. That or GPS are one of the top items. So, all right, so I am gonna have that cooking, and I'll eat that later. That's pretty much it, folks. This thing works awesome, and it only takes a little while. This thing gets up to 380 degrees, and then you can just set this on the floor while you're driving, put it somewhere where it's not going to get knocked over, and just make sure you don't forget about it, because this thing will burn anything in there, and it gets up over 300 degrees, and it will definitely burn things up into crispy critters in there. So don't forget about it, and enjoy it, and get some canned goods on there. You can warm up your green beans, you can warm up ravioli like I'm doing, your Dinty Moore stews, any soups. You can use aluminum foil and do like baked potatoes, whatever you like to cook. I mean, you're only limited by your own imagination as to what you can fit in the tins or some aluminum foil within that space of this, and it closes it up and it locks down, and then you can sit it on the floor of your truck while you're doing other things, kind of out of the way. Just don't forget about it. And then unplug it, open it up, and you can pull it out and start eating. But just remember that tin is going to be hot, extremely hot, and everybody's different with heat. Some people can pick up hot things. You might want to use like a couple of napkins together to pick it up. So there's actually 3 different sizes possible. This is the main size. This is a 2.5 inch. It's a I got a whole bunch together, and I usually try to put a bunch of these in inside the thing. The whole bunch of these will fit right inside there for keeping, so that you have it right there. And you know, in the past, I've also like put a can of some sort of food right in there with the pans, and so I had something right there. I mean, I kind of treat this like an emergency kit almost, you know. And anyway, there's 5 sizes. There's this little size, little dinky size. This is called a mini loaf pan set. It comes with a set of 5, and like this, but they look just like this. And if you get the top one, there's gonna be a thing like that, like the label, and there's this like glue stuff on there, and you want to make sure you get all that glue stuff off before you put your food in there, obviously. Usually it all pulls off together. Make sure all that glue is out of there before you put your food in there. And this tape crap that they have on here. But the medium loaf pans, 8-inch large times 3.88 in width times 2.47 in height. So look for that. You got to go over by where they sell the pots and pans and stuff and look for the aisle that has a whole bunch of different size. I mean, that's where the turkey pans are at, and the throwaway turkey pans are those aluminum turkey pans that you throw away, and all the different pans that they sell that almost take up almost a whole aisle over there. So on the one side, and then there's all kinds of different options, and as long as they'll fit inside this thing, it'll work. These are the ones that are perfectly sized for it though. So, and there might even be times when you might want to put water in the bottom of that to act like a steamer in kind of way. So anyway, you can put that right inside and keep it right inside there when you're not using it, and that cord will shove down into there, but it's not always easy to get it to fit back in there. But all right, I'm telling you, you will love using this thing. I use mine all the time on the truck, especially when I can't use my electric skillets and those sorts of things on the truck, or microwave and stuff like that. This is a way that if you have nothing else, I mean, you can cook almost anything in this. So all right, thanks guys, thanks for watching. All right guys, I decided to add this little part in. I'm going to go ahead and clean this bad boy. I'm going to show you one of the best ways to do that. So I had put this away. This is just later in the day, and I'm waiting for my load. I'm at the Anheuser-Busch, just waiting for a dock, waiting for them to send me a text. So while I'm waiting, I figured I'd add this in. I was busy editing, so the first part of this video, and I decided to add this in. If you see how this is kind of wet inside, it's got moisture on the roof, the top of the deal, and you see that's a little dirty up there, but not bad. And this is where I usually keep these tins, is right inside of it. Sometimes you can throw a can of food in there, and then you see all that fits in there, and then you just kind of, this locks down. I already plugged this in, so it's starting to get hot. I got it plugged in up front there. See how long that cord is? Isn't that awesome? And it is designed to fit down in that hole. Do you see? You know it's on by this red light. But that cord is designed so you can stuff it down in there, but it's not the easiest thing to do, but it will fit in there. When you buy the thing, it is wrapped up in there and it's got one of those ties on there. So let's take this out before it gets all heated up. We'll set this aside. Now we got all this growtiness in here. Now what you want to do is, where did I put it? Here it is. Take you a bottle of water. I'm trying to do this. Hold on a second. Now what I'm going to do is, I am going to close this up for a little bit. I'm going to let it get all hot in there, let that almost get to boiling. Okay? And what that will do is, it'll get moisture all up in there. It'll heat up all that stuff in there, and that stuff will hopefully just wipe right out. That water will help to loosen all that stuff up. And if you got a little bit of soap, which I do got some Dawn somewhere, I never know where it's at, and I don't want, if I open up my seasoning cabinet right up here above my head, that's where I keep all my seasonings, and I think that's where I've got my little bottle of Dawn. But I don't think I'm going to need it. I think paper towels and water, I think that's all that will be necessary just to get it clean enough to clean it up. But take care of this thing. It's all about 25-30 bucks. Go buy it. Any aluminum foil, rolls of aluminum foil will help. And tins will work if you buy the right kinds. Get the loaf pans, and you'll thank yourself, because this thing is awesome. I use it all the time, and for quick meals, like you can plug this in and have something cooking. If you know that you are, say, gonna be stopping, you're just going down the road for a couple of minutes, like you're only gonna drive about 10-15 minutes, and then you're stopping somewhere, and if you want to stop and eat then, well, you can get this all set up and have it plugged in, sit it on the floor of your truck, and have something cooking while you go to the next destination. So once this heats up, it's gonna take a little bit for it to get up to heat, but once it gets that water heated up, it's gonna start, it'll even get boiled. So you can once it gets pretty hot, you can start cleaning it out and sopping up that water and scrubbing the inside of that, and use dry towels once you get down to the end, and it should all clean up. We're gonna do it on video, okay? And if that don't work, then I'll break out the Dawn and finish it up, but you shouldn't have to do that. And I wouldn't use chemicals like, even though you're not going to be cooking directly on the surface in this, at least you shouldn't, because that'll grody it up permanently. But do not use like Clendo, which Clendo is good for getting stuff to lift off of surfaces, but don't use stuff like this on things that you're cooking food in. Bad plan. So anyway, I'm gonna shut this off and I'll get back to you once this heats up. It shouldn't take long, more like a few minutes. Alright guys, let's check on this. We got steam coming out. It should be hot enough to start cleaning. So this is going to be interesting to try to do, holding the camera. So you see how it is now. I'm not sure how to do this because I'm going to need both hands. Yeah, hold on, I'm going to put you on the tripod. Alright guys, so all we've used is we put some water out of a regular bottle of water, just a regular everyday bottle of water. There's no, haven't used any soaps or anything. What you want to do is just keep using paper towels and be careful not to let yourself get burnt by the extremely hot water that's going to be in this. Be careful. I'm going to clean the top first. You're going to get this black stuff on there. That's normal. Alright. Use that hot water. You see how this stuff is coming clean? Just try not to use anything too abrasive. Don't you like use any steel wool. Green scratcher might be the most abrasive thing that you might want to use in this. And be very careful because this, you are going to get burnt if you touch that hot water. Keep this thing on until you get it pretty much done. Okay, and then have you something close to you to throw your sopping wet deal away. So, ooh, it's hot. So, alright, throw those away, and our trash over here hanging off a seat. This ain't gonna be perfect, but it'll definitely get the job done. Okay, use a dry towel to pick this up because this is hot. I go through a lot of paper towels on the truck, but I try to keep my stuff clean as much as possible. Over time, these are going to get worn down on the inside, but if you're making it a point to wipe it down and take good care of it, it's a lot better. You can wipe down the sides and stuff. Try to take care of this bad boy because this thing is awesome. This is one of those simple inventions. And if you see that, it's not perfect. There's still stain there, and you might be able to take and use something else to pull that off, but you want to be real careful. Careful about using any chemicals, because remember, you are eating food out of this. If you do use any chemicals, make sure you get them completely wiped out and chemical out of there before you put food in here, because even if it's not directly contacting it, any fumes that might come off of it might get into your food. So you just got to be careful. So alright, I'm going to unplug this. We don't need it plugged in anymore. So, simple cleaning. It's still got a stain in there. And that might come up. I'm going to go ahead and use some of this Clean-Dough just to see if it'll get it up. But then I'm going to back it up with water and get it all cleaned out. Because I never cook directly on this surface. But I've unplugged it. It's going to steam a little bit. Let that sit for a little bit. We'll see if that don't pull it up. But then we're going to clean this out very, very good. We're going to use a bunch of water to clean it up. Clean-Dough is really good about lifting things off the surfaces of things. And I don't never cook directly in this, and you shouldn't either. So here. Alright, let's see. Don't want to leave this stuff on too long. Nope, that did not lift it up. That's probably a permanent stain, but alright, let's put some water in here and try to sop up some of this stuff. That's pretty clean now. I mean, we at least got that stuff that got spilled. Every once in a while you'll use these and get the chemicals up. Alright, you'll have spills and stuff in here. You'll knock it over. Hopefully you won't, but things happen. See if this stuff will scrub off with my nail. So these things can last you a long time. Just gonna dry this out now. Usually the top will stay pretty clean. It's this bottom part. So there you go. That's about as clean as I'm going to be able to get it. Okay, it's all clean. We'll stick that in there. And if you want, you can put a can of food in there, but you can put a generous amount of these in there so that they're with it. And then put that in there. And then this will stuff down in there, but it is a chore. You really gotta stuff this in there. Let's see if I can show this very well. This is designed to go in here for traveling purposes, and the more you can cram this in here, if you do it right, you can cram this whole cord down in here. That's what it's designed to do. When you buy it, this thing's twist tied up in here, all neat like, with a piece of plastic around it and everything. But you will find this is one of those instances, like with a lot of new things you buy, things don't always go back into their spots as easily or as neatly as when you originally bought them. So, but this whole thing is designed to cram in here just like this, and you'll get down here to a certain point and you'll jam it in there, see, like that. And this is designed to clip right there, and then you got that. See that? Isn't that cool? And then you just can stick that in your one of your closets, whatever your truck's like. Different trucks are different, have different type of cabinets and shelves and things for you to put things on. So, and just go to like Walmart or something and get you some canned foods, whatever. I mean, it's whatever you want, man. Whatever you want to cook. It's just like a different variation on a crock pot, basically. So, okay. Thanks, guys.